right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be traveling through time again. The first art period that we talked about was the ancient artists. The ancient artists liked to draw on walls, and they drew what they saw in their lives. And they weren't very good artists, remember? Because they were trying to stay alive. Yes. Then we moved on to the Egyptians. That was in Africa. The Egyptian artists liked to do artwork for the afterlife. They were more concerned about the afterlife and preparing themselves for that than they were about this life. And only the rich people got to do it, remember? They had sarcophagus and hieroglyphs. The last project we worked on was the Renaissance. The Renaissance had four major artists: Leonardo, who did the Mona Lisa; Donatello, who liked to do sculptures, remember, Mary Magdalene; Raphael, who did the School of Athens. He did architecture, that's like buildings and stuff. And then we had Michelangelo. Michelangelo painted on the ceiling, and he painted the Sistine Chapel. Painted upside down. And remember, the Renaissance was all about people. Now we are traveling through time, and we are going to the Baroque period. The Baroque period was over 400 years ago. So we're getting a little bit closer to us. It was known for very dramatic images. Drama. When you think of drama, when people say no drama, they mean they don't want a lot of conflict. Well, with Baroque, there were very dramatic images, and they were full of life and movement, and they were very emotional. They had an emotion to them. They weren't boring like this. No, they had some emotion to them. This is one of the Baroque paintings that we will be talking about. And you can see that there's high contrast, which is another characteristic of the Baroque period. And contrast is where you have light and dark. So we have some dark areas over here, and right next to it we have some bright areas. That's what contrast is. Dark versus light. So they had lots of contrast in their pieces. And one of the artists that we will be talking about, we have on our Instagram board over here. And this is Rembrandt. And Rembrandt did this painting right here. He has high contrast in all of his paintings, and he was a Baroque artist. So if you want to go up and check out Rembrandt's Instagram board later, you're more than welcome to. So we have high contrast, and it's very emotional. I want you to think about what emotions you might see in this painting and all the other paintings that we're going to talk about. So like I said, we have some main artists. We're going to talk about three main artists. We're going to focus on one, which is Rembrandt, which I just talked about. The other two main artists that we're going to talk about that you might have heard of before, one is Caravaggio, and the other one is Jan van Meer. I know it looks like it doesn't look like say that, but it's Jan van Meer. And as you can see, they have the same characteristics as Rembrandt did. We have bright areas and dark areas. Dark background, brightness on her face. So the Baroque period was very contrasty on their pictures. And they were very dramatic, and they had a lot of emotions. Okay? So we are going to be doing a project that is very similar to the Baroque style. We are going to be inspired by Rembrandt's windmill, which is pictured here. It's also up on the board up here. Our project is going to be the Marblehead Lighthouse, something that most of you probably know about. And it's inspired by Rembrandt's windmill drawing / painting. He did a painting of it. He also did a drawing. And it has extreme dark and light areas. So we're going to be using charcoal to make our pictures. And we want to, for our goals for this project, for our Baroque art lighthouses, we can identify the characteristics of the Baroque art period. What are the characteristics of the Baroque art period? High contrast, full of emotion. And they do a lot of stuff with landscapes. They do some stuff with people, as you can see by Rembrandt's paintings up there, but a lot of it has to do with landscapes because that gets a lot of contrast. So we identified the characteristics. I can remember one artist from this time period. Remember we had three. There was Caravaggio, John Vermeer, and Rembrandt. I would like you to focus on Rembrandt, but if you remember one of the other two better, that's fine with me. And I can create a lighthouse using charcoal. And this is what we're going to be doing today. You are going to get onto your computer in a moment, and you are going to watch part 1 of the Baroque lighthouse, and then you're going to do your drawing on a gray tone paper like this. And then after you've done your drawing, you are going to do the charcoal part, which you will watch part 2 of the video on Google Classroom, and then you will be able to finish it. When you are finished with your entire piece, I'm done, yay, it looks so pretty, I'm so happy with it. You are going to take an iPad and you're going to take a picture and we're going to upload it to Artsonia just like we've done before. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. The steps today are to watch this video, yay. 2, you're going to watch the video on part 1, the drawing part. Then do your drawing, and then you're going to watch part 2, and then you're going to do the charcoal part. And then the third thing we're going to do is upload to Artsonia.